Hello, welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making chicken spaghetti, and I have to say this is my favorite chicken casserole, and there's probably 1,000 different ways to make chicken spaghetti, but I'm going to show you my way. I'm starting with just a little bit of olive oil in my skillet. I've got my skillet on medium-high heat, and I am adding some fresh mushrooms. I love fresh mushrooms. Now this is a pound of mushrooms. You can use the whole pound, but I'm going to use half of this. And the reason why is because my husband is not a mushroom lover. He enjoys the flavor, but I'll have to pick the mushrooms out for him. Yeah. Now I'm just going to get a nice sear on these mushrooms and go ahead and cook some of the liquid out. Now to make these mushrooms taste even better, I'm adding about 2 tablespoons of butter. The olive oil is for the smoke point. That way I can cook these mushrooms at a higher temperature. But the butter is going to add delicious flavor and color. Going to help these mushrooms get nice and brown. My cousin Tammy makes the best chicken spaghetti. As a matter of fact, I would call it her signature dish. Nobody cooks chicken spaghetti or pound cake better. But Tammy doesn't really go by a recipe. Tammy makes it to taste, and it always turns out perfect. And I will say that's kind of what I'm doing here. I've got my own little spin on this recipe. As much as I enjoy hers, and I do think hers is the best, I like a little variety too. These are perfect. I'm going to turn my heat completely off and do away with my burner. I think this is the perfect amount of mushrooms for this dish. Now this is going to serve 4 to 6 people, and of course you can take this recipe and double it, and it'll make a nice deep 9 by 13 inch pan. I am adding a half of a block of cream cheese. My cream cheese has been sitting out for a little bit, and it's at room temperature, but this nice warm pan is going to help this to melt. And I'm also using a can of cream of chicken soup. I think all chicken casseroles need cream of chicken soup. It's just a must. I'm mixing all of this together. If you're not going to use the fresh mushrooms, you can just mix this all together in a bowl or in your baking dish where you don't have to dirty up another dish. Just want to stir this together. Now I'm going to add about a cup of milk. I'm going to keep my milk close because I may want to add just a little bit more. I'm also going to add a nice pinch of salt, and I've got some garlic powder. If you like fresh garlic, you can definitely saute a clove along with your mushrooms. I'm just using a little garlic powder today. It's a little bit milder. I'm going to stir this in and see this nice sauce it's making. I just want to taste it and make sure that it doesn't need any more salt. It can use a pinch more. Now I'm adding the spaghetti. I've cooked this spaghetti according to the package directions. Make sure that you add salt to your water. And I used a box of this. This is the pot-sized noodles. They're perfect for casseroles, and they're the perfect size for this dish. And I'm also adding 2 cups of cooked chicken. This is some roasted chicken that I had left over. I love to buy the chicken breasts when they're on sale and roast them up. We love them all by themselves. And then with any of the leftovers, I usually make a chicken casserole. And last but not least, I'm going to add about a cup of cheese to this. Now this is 2 cups of extra sharp cheddar cheese, but I'm going to save the rest of this for the top of this casserole. Now I'm just going to stir this all together. If you're not a fan of the cream cheese, you can substitute that with sour cream. As a matter of fact, I go back and forth. Sometimes I use sour cream, sometimes I use cream cheese, but I'll say that the cream cheese just gives it a richer, more decadent flavor that is so, so good. And there we go. This looks like the perfect amount of milk. If you find that it's a little dry, then go ahead and either add chicken broth or more milk. And now for the rest of this cheese. I'm just going to sprinkle this all over the top. And if you'd like to use more cheese, then by all means, use as much or as little as you like. This is a great recipe to make ahead. A lot of times I'll make this the night before I want to serve it, put it in the refrigerator, take it out, let it come to room temp before you cook it, and then bake it as usual, and you've got dinner that's ready to go. This also freezes beautifully. Now I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and this is going to cook anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. Everything is already cooked in the dish. We just want all of these flavors to meld together and be delicious. So I'll see you back here when this is done. Look at this beautiful casserole. Oh, the kitchen smells so good right now. Now I'm going to tell you the same thing that I always do with casseroles and so many other dishes. Let it sit a few minutes before you cut into it. That way, all of your juices are going to redistribute and it'll just relax and be perfect. Let me just take a little taste of this. It looks so creamy. Look at this. Cheesy perfection right here. Now, let's see how it tastes. This is so good. The cream cheese just gives it a little bit of a different flavor and texture, a little creamier, just a little something that they're going to ask you, what is that flavor that I taste? So good. Thanks so much for watching today. You are a blessing to me. Will you press that like button? Share this video with your friends. I appreciate that so much. Well, I'm going to have a little appetizer before dinner tonight. I'll see you next time.